Okay, so I've got myself a new toy. Problem is that about 8 months ago, our old X-Type Jag, which was an estate, which was failing really, didn't go through the MOT, and then the doors didn't open. There was a whole bunch of stuff that was going on with it, which I wasn't really happy with, and we decided to scrap it. Plus, ULEZ meant that a 2-litre diesel was not allowed into London, and then there was the rust and everything else. So anyway, we ended up scrapping it. Now that left us with no money, particularly, to get another one, and we ended up getting a stopgap Mini, BMW Mini, opposite end of the scale in grand scheme of things, which was broken. Didn't have a second gear, and we got it through the MOT, and it was okay for what it was, but wasn't great, wasn't very good for our purposes. We kind of need a tow car because we've got so many things that we have to move around. So yeah, that wasn't great. So in the end, one of the guys that I used to work with, his dad was getting rid of a car, and I decided to swap his car for our car. So we've swapped a 500 quid broken Mini for a Jag X-Type Saloon, but this one's petrol, so this is more socially acceptable nowadays. So I've gone from a car which will do about 50 to 60 miles a gallon to a car that'll probably do about half that. So that's not great, but it does mean I get to have a V6 engine, which is much smoother, and it's a nice thing, isn't it? There are some issues. So broken spring on the front of this one, so I'm going to do the front springs. I'm going to do both front springs and suspension. So I've already got one side off. I'm going to do the other side now, and it's also got it's also got ABS lights on and engine management lights on. I've already done the lambda sensors on it, so that seems to have cured the engine management lights. ABS lights are on. Done one of the speed sensors on the back, which was told was faulty. Put it in, but they're still on. I think it just needs resetting. I don't know how that's all going to work. Not very good with more modern stuff. So that's got to happen. I'll just show you it because it's now up on stilts sort of thing, and as you can see, the interior is quite nice. It's leathery seats. I've got the back squab out at the moment because I'm trying to find the end of the ABS sensor and things like that. So a quick tour of the new beast is what we're going to be doing. Here we go. Oh yeah. Scratches, flat paintwork, tow hitch, that's what I want. More scratches, more dents, scratches, dents, dent, big scratch, damaged wheels, generally scabby condition, weird scrape mark, weird funny dent thing going on front wing. Don't know what to do with that, but that's not great. You can see I've got the front suspension off, so that's down this side. I'm going to jack up and do the other side now. I'll probably show you me doing that if you're interested. There you go. That is the new toy. So wheel is off and ABS sensor's got to come off. One of the first things to come off, but what I'm going to do first is I'm going to clean all this lot off with wire brush and then give it all a good dosing with some plus gas, fin oil. See if we can get some of this shifted. So as you can see, just rubbing off the rust around the areas which I'm going to be cleaning up. Pinch bolt at the back there. So that's the pinch bolt there, that's the keeping into that off. and then dose it. Can't really get to that one, but can't really get to that one, but it's a hopeful squirt behind, catch the end of the thread or something. Can't really see what I'm doing with that one. As you can see, like, it all soaks in. Good stuff, plus gas. It's very thin oil. Got a good possibility of actually getting into threads and things like that. I don't know if you can actually see that really. Need some better light really, don't I? Okay, so rattle gun's pretty much the best thing to use for this because it speeds the whole process up so much better. Look, straight off. Straight off, no problem. Next one is going to be a bit harder. The next one is going to be a bit harder because that's the anti-roll bar whoosh stabilised link, which is plastic, which is a bit weird, isn't it? But not going to bother with that one yet. I'm going to do the pinch bolt down here. That pinch bolt there, I'm going to do that first because that's going to be the one. I'm going to give that cherry red with the map gas gun. Right, so heat is your friend in his pinch bolts, really. So just going to get me map gas gun, do this one-handed. Part of what flame is just at the top of the second beam side, so I can just lose it. Which is round here. Oh, I should have moved my steering, shouldn't I? Never mind. Blimey, heat from that thing is pretty serious. And heat is your friend, isn't it? Look at that, straight away. Can't touch it yet because it's red hot. Okay, so got compressors on there, going right up there. They're just sort of hooked on, barely hooked on. Doesn't look that great actually, is it? But they're hooked on enough. And I've got to pull that out. So I've got to go up by the thickness of that joint. So that's about maybe 2 inches, maybe 40 mil. Just under 2, no, yeah, 1.5 inches, something like that, up before this comes out of there. So let's see how that goes. Okay, so it's out, but I couldn't really show you because I was too busy faffing. So that's the bit where, that's the knuckle with everything on it, a hub carrier, and I basically took one of these, shoved it up the hole and jacked it up until it popped out, which worked well. No real traumas, a little bit of faffy, but they always are this sort of thing, isn't it? So, and there it is out on the deck. That's what it should look like. I don't know if it's actually looking right. It's like proper bowed out one side. So I don't know if that's how they're meant to sit. I would have thought they would have sort of more salt central. It's really tight this side and acres of room that side, so I don't know if that's normal. We'll have to look when we put the new springs on. Look at the chaos I've made. So the spring is super long, much longer than the extended shock absorber, as you can see for this old one, which meant I've run out of thread on these. You can only clamp 3 together anyway. So ratchet straps to pull the top down, and then just to bring it straight, because it twisted it, as I squeezed the bottom, it cantilevered it up. Enough to get me that on. Happy days. Okay, so undoing this is a scary experience because it's going to ping like fuck, but the nut's on, so. Oh, that's a bit of an anticlimax, wasn't it? Oh, well, that's good. I don't mind it being. Oh, there you go. That's the one I wasn't worried about. Doink. Doink. Yep, very nearly got that. Oh no, I can get that out. A little wiggle. Gonna have to put this down, aren't I? Hang on. So by using a bottle jack under there, going onto a piece of wood, cable tied to the leg with a. I'd put a piece of angle on there because this becomes a wood splitter. Pretty efficient wood splitter when you don't put anything under it. I can jack it up to get it to the point of the knuckle nearly being in place. Got to cut the cable tie, and hopefully that'll flop in with a little bit of jiggery pokery. Right, so after releasing everything, it goes a bit ping, but it flops down into the hole. Now give it all a wiggle with the steering rack, and it'll go in. So just by twisting the suspension, you can see that it's now starting to line up. Give that another turn lock to lock, and that'll pop in. Well, that either fell in or fell out. I suspect that fell out. Actually, it was just the caliper falling off of its mount. You see, it's pretty much lined up. A little bit of jiggery pokery, and that'll go in. Let's give it some jiggery pokery. Yeah, a few bangs with a hammer, gentle taps, and it plops straight in. So that's the quickest way I've got of putting this spring in, which is massive, by the way.
Hey, Craig.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. And there she is, all happy that she's got herself a new little brimmer.